What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel, and wow, do we have some major news to dive into today. The Dallas Cowboys have officially made their third-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, and it's a move that's already got fans talking and analysts scrambling to break it all down. The Cowboys selected cornerback Shavon Revel Jr., and let me tell you, this pick is loaded with excitement, upside, and maybe just a touch of surprise. In today's video, we're going to give you the full instant reaction, complete analysis, what this pick means for the Cowboys going forward, and why Shavon Revel Jr. could turn out to be a hidden gem in this year's draft class if everything pans out the way the Cowboys front office is hoping. Buckle up, because this is going to be a fun ride through the ins and outs of one of the Cowboys' most intriguing moves yet. First off, let's talk about Shavon Revel Jr. himself because he's a name you're going to want to get very familiar with. Coming out of the University of South Carolina, Revel Jr. established himself as a ball hawk with tremendous instincts, quickness, and a knack for making plays when his team needed them the most. Standing at 6'0" and weighing in around 190 pounds, Revel Jr. brings a nice combination of size, speed, and competitiveness to the secondary. During his final collegiate season, he recorded 4 interceptions, 12 pass breakups, and showcased some serious ability when it came to locking down opposing receivers in both man and zone coverage. His film shows a player who's aggressive but smart, who knows when to jump a route and when to stay disciplined. Traits like that don't grow on trees, and it's easy to see why the Cowboys decided to pounce on him with their third-round pick. Now, there were some whispers heading into the draft that the Cowboys were heavily focused on bolstering their defense, particularly in the secondary. With veteran cornerbacks dealing with injuries in recent seasons and depth being tested time and time again, it was absolutely crucial for the Cowboys to find young, hungry talent who could step in and compete right away. In that context, the pick of Shavon Revel Jr. makes even more sense. This isn't just about stacking depth. This is about potentially finding a future starter who can develop into a key part of the defense for years to come. In a division that now features some serious receiver talent across the board, having a player like Revel Jr. who can mirror routes, stick to receivers, and make plays on the ball is invaluable. But let's not act like this pick was a slam dunk according to every scout and analyst out there. Like any player selected outside the first round, Revel Jr. does come with some question marks. Some scouts noted that he occasionally struggled with tackling in space, and there were concerns about his ability to consistently handle bigger, more physical receivers at the next level. His combined performance was solid but not spectacular, with a 4.48-second 40-yard dash and decent agility drills, but nothing that absolutely blew evaluators away. However, what kept popping up on the tape, and what likely caught the Cowboys' attention is the way Revel Jr. consistently played bigger than his measurables. His competitiveness, his football IQ, and his ability to anticipate routes put him in a position to succeed over and over again. When you look at the Cowboys' current cornerback room, it's clear that the addition of Shavon Revel Jr. is going to inject some much-needed youth and energy into the mix. With veterans like Trayvon Diggs coming off an ACL injury and players like Darren Bland stepping into bigger roles, there's definitely an opportunity for a rookie to carve out a role early. And knowing the Cowboys coaching staff, especially defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer, there's no doubt they'll put Revel Jr. in situations where he can use his strengths while working on polishing up the weaker parts of his game. Zimmer has a long history of developing young defensive backs, and Revel Jr. could be his next project, one that pays off huge dividends if everything clicks. Another aspect that makes this pick fascinating is how it reflects the Cowboys' draft strategy as a whole. Throughout the 2025 draft, the Cowboys have emphasized versatility, toughness, and football intelligence, and Revel Jr. checks all those boxes. They're clearly looking for players who can think on their feet, adapt to different roles, and bring a little bit of nastiness to the field. In today's NFL, where offenses are more explosive and unpredictable than ever, Having defenders who can adjust and react in real time is crucial. Revel Jr.'s game is built around those very traits, and that could make him an incredibly valuable chess piece for the Cowboys defense moving forward. One thing that really stood out about Revel Jr. during the pre-draft process was his character and leadership. Multiple reports praised his work ethic, his commitment to film study, and his willingness to take coaching. In interviews, he came across as humble but confident, someone who knows he's good but also understands that there's always room to improve. That mentality is exactly what you want in a young player coming into a competitive environment like the NFL. It's also the kind of mindset that tends to win over coaches quickly, meaning Revel Jr. could fast-track his way into meaningful playing time if he continues to impress once training camp rolls around. Speaking of training camp, it's going to be incredibly interesting to watch how Shavon Revel Jr. fits into the Cowboys' defensive plans right out of the gate. Early projections suggest he'll compete for snaps and nickel and dime packages, where his quickness and ball skills can really shine. He'll likely be tasked with covering slot receivers and occasionally matching up against tight ends, giving him a chance to showcase his versatility. If he can hold his own and continue developing, don't be surprised if we start seeing him take on a bigger and bigger role as the season progresses. Injuries happen, matchups change, and in the NFL, opportunities can come at any moment. Revel Jr. feels like the kind of player who will be ready when his number is called. Now, let's talk a little bit about how this pick fits into the bigger picture of the Cowboys' defense. Adding another young, athletic cornerback like Revel Jr. gives the Cowboys more flexibility when it comes to their coverage schemes. They can mix in more man coverage looks without worrying about getting burned, and they can disguise their coverages more effectively. Zimmer is known for his creative defensive designs, and having a guy like Revel Jr. who can execute a variety of assignments opens up a lot of possibilities. Imagine a secondary featuring Trayvon Diggs, Darren Bland, Shavon Revel Jr. and Malik Hooker. Suddenly you're talking about a unit with ball skills, speed, and a whole lot of swagger. We also have to mention the special teams angle because it's a real factor here. Young defensive backs often make their initial impact on special teams, and Revel Jr. has the makeup to be a special teams ace while he continues developing as a cornerback. His quickness, toughness, and willingness to tackle should make him an asset on punt and kickoff coverage units. And in a league where field position often decides games, having quality special teams players is not something to overlook. Don't be surprised if he makes a name for himself early on special teams and earns more trust from the coaching staff that way. Digging even deeper, this pick could have longer-term ramifications for how the Cowboys approach future roster decisions. With veterans due for contract extensions and some tough cap decisions looming, adding affordable young talent like Revel Jr. is critical. If he develops into a starter or even a high-end rotational player, it gives the Cowboys more flexibility when it comes to negotiating with current players or deciding where to allocate future resources. Smart teams draft with both the present and future in mind, and it's clear that the Cowboys are thinking ahead with this selection. As we continue to break this down, it's worth looking at the reaction from across the NFL landscape. Some draft analysts immediately praised the Cowboys for finding a potential steal in Revel Jr. at this point in the draft. Others raised questions about whether he can overcome his physical limitations against NFL-level competition. It's the classic debate that comes with every mid-round pick: is the player's college production and film enough to outweigh any athletic or physical concerns? Only time will tell, but given the Cowboys' recent success with player development, there's plenty of reason to be optimistic. And let's not forget the emotional aspect of draft weekend. Watching Shavon Revel Jr.'s reaction when he got the call from the Cowboys was nothing short of heartwarming. Tears in his eyes, surrounded by family and friends, realizing a lifelong dream. Those are the moments that remind us why we love the NFL draft so much. It's about more than just 40-yard dash times and scouting reports. It's about dreams coming true, about hard work paying off, about the start of a new journey. You could see the pride, the excitement, and yes, the determination on his face. Revel Jr. isn't just happy to be drafted, he's ready to prove he belongs. As the dust settles on this pick, Cowboys fans should feel good about the direction the team is heading. Shavon Revel Jr. brings talent, work ethic, and upside to a position group that needed reinforcement. He fits the team's culture, he fits the defensive scheme, and he has the kind of mindset that tends to succeed at the next level. There will be bumps along the way, there always are with rookies, but the foundation is there for Revel Jr. to be a real contributor both now and into the future. Stick with me here because we're just getting started. I'm going to keep breaking this down even further with player comparisons, what to expect from Revel Jr. in his rookie season, and how he stacks up against other cornerbacks taken around the same time in the draft.